We live in an ecosystem that measures human worth by follower counts, personal brands, and the sheer volume of choices we can make before breakfast. But step off the street and through a heavy oak door, and the noise stops completely. You enter a physical space engineered for absolute stillness. Thousands of young women are making a calculated decision to walk away from that noise. They are packing away their smartphones, leaving careers, and trading infinite optionality for a life governed by a bell. To the outside observer, this looks like a tragedy. When a smart, capable person surrenders her autonomy and her earning potential, modern society views it as a waste of a life. Which brings us to a glaring contradiction. If unlimited choice is our ultimate prize, why are these women voluntarily choosing total restriction? And what do they understand about freedom that we don't? The process begins the moment a woman crosses the convent threshold. She arrives with her personal history packed into a small suitcase, and she leaves her previous identity at the door. The individual ego is systematically dismantled. Her hair, a universal symbol of personal vanity, is cut short. She surrenders her birth name and adopts a new one, anchoring her to the solemnity of the choice. The coarse fabric of the habit functions as a shield. By adopting a uniform, she opts out of the constant competitive performance of physical appearance. In the modern economy, we spend massive amounts of energy marketing our individual identities to the world. By stepping away from the need for self-expression, she is freed from that exhausting performance. This unburdening extends to her finances through the vow of poverty. When you remove the personal paycheck and the private bank account, you also remove the anxiety of ownership. In the convent, everything is ours, creating a frictionless shared economy. The vow of chastity functions similarly. It acts as an expansion of human affection. Because she does not belong exclusively to a husband or a child, her capacity for care is redirected toward everyone she meets. Finally, there is the vow of obedience. We live in a culture obsessed with the pressure of being a self-made success. By intentionally surrendering her personal will to her superiors, she sidesteps the stress of having to constantly steer her own destiny. These three vows work in tandem to strip away the primary sources of modern stress. By removing the burdens of ownership, exclusive attachment, and the pressure of self-determination, they provide a specific, concentrated form of freedom. The physical space of the monastery reinforces this internal focus. The architecture itself acts as a teacher, designed with inward-facing courtyards and heavy stone corridors that block out external distractions. Her daily routine is governed by the horarium, a schedule that typically begins with a 4 a.m. wake-up call. From that moment, every hour is partitioned into a balance of communal prayer and manual labor. From evening until after breakfast the next morning, the community observes the grand silence. Without phones or chatter to drown out difficult thoughts, this quiet forces individuals to face their internal realities head-on. This structure creates a perpetual prayer chain. While the rest of society sleeps, these women are in physical formation, chanting and interceding for people outside those walls who are suffering or in crisis. This rigid structure provides the container for a very specific type of internal work. Within these walls, the combination of silence and schedule provides a foundation for emotional stability that is difficult to find in the chaos of the outside world. And that intense internal focus has historically radiated outward. Cloistered women laid the actual groundwork for modern social infrastructure, functioning as the architects of our hospitals, schools, and orphanages. This creates a striking sociological paradox. An institution often categorized as deeply patriarchal actually operates as a space run entirely by women, where they manage budgets, lead communities, and support each other without the involvement of men. While aging convents in the West are slowly shrinking, the global picture tells a different story. Vocations are experiencing rapid growth across Africa and Asia. The monastic tradition is shifting its weight, migrating to the regions of the world where its model of radical community is currently finding the most fertile ground. Look at a woman who has lived this way for 50 years, and you see the physical evidence of the choice. In the faces of elderly nuns, you frequently find a particular kind of stillness, a quality of presence that suggests the frantic background noise of the modern world has finally gone quiet. Even at the very end of life, the ego remains subdued. Death is treated as a homecoming, marked in the convent cemetery not by grandiose monuments, but by rows of identical, simple wooden crosses. It forces you to evaluate the secular path. We spend our lives chasing wealth, branding, and total independence, but we have to ask what that pursuit is actually costing us in mental clarity. We possess more choices than any human beings in history, but you have to wonder if your daily routine contains enough actual silence to even hear your own thoughts.